Hey guys, I am back and I'm here to talk about something that kind of sucks, but it's kind of awesome that we all experience in our own way, and that is hormones. Hormones can affect your mood, your sex drive, food cravings, and a myriad of other things, especially when you go through a hormonal cycle. For many years, since I started having my period, I would take oral contraceptive. I would take the pill. The bottom line was it prevented ovulation and controlled my cycle, and it regulated the amount of hormones flooding my system. I noticed that when I stopped taking the pill and didn't have a reason to take it, I would experience my body very differently and my mood. Because of that and many other personal reasons, I decided to switch to a more permanent form of birth control, which I have had for about a year now. And during that year, I've experienced my hormonal cycle unadulterated from any oral contraceptive or any intake of hormones outside of what's already in my body. A hormone, by the way, is a regulatory substance that is produced by your body or taken in a synthetic form to stimulate certain activities by cells and tissues. But for now, I'm just speaking on the sex hormones that really determine menstrual cycles in general. During my new experiences with this unadulterated cycle, PMS is horrible. I was very privileged during the time I was taking oral contraceptive that I didn't experience PMS, and I've seen what it can do to the mental states and physical states of my friends and my peers. Nowadays, leading up to my period, about a week out or a little bit more sometimes, I will wake up and hate the world. I'll be very depressed and not quite know why I'm in such a funk, and it usually takes me a day or two to realize that it's not anything going on in my life, that it's not any external stimuli that's causing me to feel this way. It's all internal. That's my hormones saying, hey, you're about to have a hell of a week just because. I don't so much experience mood swings as fall into this mood funk where I'm just more anxious and sensitive and mildly depressed for a little while, and it's more easy for me to fall into patterns of pessimism, whereas I'm typically a pretty optimistic person. Also, physically, my boobs sometimes get giant, sometimes they don't, but more importantly, I have a tenderness that's very internal. My sex organs feel very sensitive and swollen, as if I don't have a lot of space in my body to accommodate the activities I very much enjoy doing. To speak frankly, my body is swollen and tender, and it prevents me from having the penetrative sex that I really enjoy having when I'm not in this tender state. It really sucks and it's frustrating, and I think that the sexual frustrations that I sometimes encounter is a mix of that anxiety, the tenderness, and the inability to have the sexual expression that I generally partake in when I'm not PMSing. The flip side of PMSing in my cycle would be the ramp up to ovulation and that sweet period of my fertile peaks. Around the time I ovulate, a little bit before, during, and after that time, I'm feeling amazing. I feel physically very capable. I have a mental acuity and confidence about me that isn't always at that level. I'm also very much a walking pudding cup. I'm just very ready for sex. Typically, I'm very horny and I'm very much mentally ready for sex, but here the physical indicators of, hey, you're ready is apparent and flooding, and it's amazing and beautiful, and I feel sexy and very confident, and I feel most confident in my body during this time. I believe that I have the most clarity mentally during this time because I don't have the baggage of anxiety and unnecessary hormonal stress preventing me from being creative, from being social and positive and productive. What I use to best track how my cycle will be affecting me and also help me better predict when I will be experiencing what is this app called Clue. I found out about it from many other YouTubers and have found that it works for me. I think it's a matter of pinning down why you're feeling those ways and why your body is reacting the way that it is at a certain time. Another thing to be greatly mindful of is that I am not taking any hormonal form of birth control. This is my purely natural cycle. So for those of you who are taking hormonal forms of birth control or using a device, Those things may affect you very differently and affect your cycle very differently, and you have to take the time to figure out what those changes are and if the cause is your birth control or your natural cycle, because everyone's body is different. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you have questions, comments, concerns, leave them in the comment section down below. I'll be sure to take a look at them. Please do subscribe, and I will see you here next Sunday. Take care.